Good afternoon, and welcome to everybody that has joined us this afternoon for the launch of the Advantage Institute of Australia. I'm Janelle Kidd, Chairman of the Board of EIA. I would like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the different Indigenous Australian nation lands upon which we meet, and especially the Bunurong, Boon Wurrung and the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung peoples of the Eastern Kulin Nation, where the City of Melbourne is now located, and pay respect to their elders, past and present. So welcome everybody. Just a small housekeeping point. If you would like to ask us a question this afternoon, there is a question and answer box into which you can type the question and see the answer. So with us today, we have the members of the Board of Directors and Academic Board, and I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the Board of Directors, Ms. Eman Liu, who is also the key shareholder, Dr. Selena Yu, Professor Onkit Tan, Ms. Natalie O'Brien, and Professor Leon Sterling. A special acknowledgement and thank you must go to Dr. Selena Yu, the General Manager and Director, for her outstanding achievements and tireless work in establishing EIA alongside her many other responsibilities. Her exemplary leadership has been especially evidenced by her ability to meet all the challenges that 2020 has thrown at us all. Welcome also to all our speakers and to our special guest speaker, the Honourable Phil Honeywood. Finally, not least, welcome and thank you to the academic, management and administrative staff that have joined us here today and who have worked so hard over the past 3 years to make today and the future possible. I want to start by acknowledging all of you and thanking you for an amazing effort. Establishing a higher education institute is a very long and arduous process, especially if you aim to do it to the highest of standards, which we always had as our objective. So thank you for your professionalism and your resilience. I'm deeply honoured to be the chairman of the board for this new and forward-thinking higher education institute, whose premises, when normal returns for us all, are located conveniently in Melbourne city centre. The academic courses we have developed aim to be distinctive and offer the latest in discipline content that also incorporates into its curriculum the discipline-relevant digital age requirements. Our objective is for students to attain a qualification that is relevant to their career and professionalism aspirations, and for our students, their capabilities to be recognised as valuable assets to their future employees or their own business ventures. One of the distinctive key requirements within our academic operations will be providing the students with opportunities to meet, hear from, and network with industry and business professionals, who we ask to share their experience, knowledge, and insights. As Chairman, I proudly welcome you to the Advantage Institute of Australia. Thank you for your support here today and joining our virtual world launch. We look forward to establishing a long and beneficial future with you. I'd now like to introduce you to Professor Leon Sterling. Leon is both a director on the EIA board and chairman of the academic board. He has a long list of impressive credentials and is an internationally recognised specialist in software engineering. He also holds a position as professor in the School of Computing and Information Systems at the University of Melbourne. Thank you, Leon.
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Janelle, for the introduction. And thank you for your acknowledgement and welcome of all of the efforts that people have made this afternoon. Again, over the 3 years that we've been involved to get to the point that we've got to today. From my perspective, it is a pleasure to be part of the launch of Advantage Institute Australia, the new higher education provider in Australia based in Melbourne. Experience from around the world has shown that there is a place for both public and private higher education providers, provided that the courses are delivered to the highest standards of quality while taking into account student background, experience, and the needs of the local and global job markets. And that has been the case. I've been involved for over a year with EIA as chair of the academic board. The involvement has been most enjoyable. EIA has established a positive culture with an emphasis on strong governance and high quality. A great team has been assembled, which is dedicated to producing job-ready graduates who've undergone study to provide them with knowledge and skills that will be needed in their careers, both now and in the future. I'm excited about the openness to innovation that we are using in our planning for all of our teaching and our courses, and the efforts to design future-looking courses. The academic board is working well and is dedicated to ensure EIA teaches quality, relevant courses under well-regulated processes. And there are exciting plans for future developments. So that's all for me for now. Thank you all for your attention. And I would now like to hand over to the Honourable Phil Honeywood, CEO of IEAA, the International Education Association of Australia. Phil has been a long-standing advocate for international students in Australia, and I welcome him with pleasure to make some opening remarks.
Thank you, Professor Sterling, and thank you to Professor Kidd and the distinguished academic board and governing council of Advantage Institute. I've known Selena, you for a long time now. Of course, we all know Selena did a lot of great work at RMIT University before being recruited to start the sister college, Global Business College Australia, GBCA, and of course has led, with the support of a great academic board and governing board, has led this wonderful evolution into the new fully accredited Advantage Institute Australia. It's very unusual for any private higher education provider to be able to make the transition from being a college delivering university degrees, such as what GBCA has done with University of Canberra for some time now. And I was there at the opening ceremony of that back in November 2017, which seems like a very long time ago, Selena, but also to then go the extra mile and become a fully fledged private higher education provider delivering their own degree program. And I think it's really important to note that instead of just joining the usual group of higher education providers to apply for a Bachelor of Business Accounting degree, the advantage that Advantage Institute has been able to attain so successfully has been to decide, no, we are going to go for a Bachelor of Marketing degree and be quite distinctive about our course offering and be quite distinctive about what we hope to provide to our students in that area of marketing. So congratulations on having the foresight to see that you had to break away from the pack and not just do the traditional Bachelor of Business Accounting, which is wonderful to do on behalf of public universities and so on, but it's important to, when you're a standalone private higher education provider such as Advantage Institute, it's important to carve out your own particular course niche, and you've done that. From November, I understand this year, we're going to have our first intake of Bachelor of Marketing students. I understand, Professor Kidd, that they're more than likely to be offshore online, or maybe some onshore online as well. Hopefully we'll get through this pandemic very, very soon. To all my Chinese friends and Chinese Australian friends, of course, we hope you had a very good Moon Festival, and I enjoyed my moon cake. So that was a wonderful celebration only 1 week ago. But now we have to get back to the hard work. And I think it's important to note that what the sister college, GBCA, has done for its students is to be commended. I know that there's been provision made for $750 academic credit during the pandemic. I understand that more than 500 students were provided with complimentary packages to support their needs and their welfare needs as well, with virtual information sessions and webinars. So if that's an example of what the sister college can do at GBCA, I'm sure, Professor Kidd, that Advantage will be able to meet that and more when it comes to the type of exemplary student service support and student service well-being, counselling and so on that so many young people need, particularly when they're faced with this very difficult time with the pandemic. I'm a very optimistic person, and happily for me, I'm involved in a number of national and state-based advisory councils. And I can tell you now that a lot of hard work's been done to get international students back to Australia. We've had very good announcements in the last week for Northern Territory and for South Australia for secure corridor pilot programs of returning students. New South Wales is very much involved in bringing back international students into Sydney, and I'm working very closely with the Victorian government to ensure that we can get international students back here as soon as possible. In the meantime, the good news is that we've only had a 5% drop in enrolments of international students according to the latest July 2020 data that our Federal Education Department have produced. And we've now got 654,000 international students with student visas to either study in Australia or study offshore. And of the 654,000, 17% are now studying online offshore. And it's been very good to see how quickly both our education providers have pivoted and transitioned to delivering very good world-class teaching online, but also our national regulators, TESCA, have done a great job as well in supporting education providers in flexible online learning delivery. Of course, many students want to know why online learning can be so expensive, but it's cost a lot of money for many private providers and public universities to switch to online learning platforms to make sure their teachers are being supported in online delivery, teaching excellence, and to provide consultations and tutorials as well online. So there are quite a few challenges there, but I'm sure Advantage Institute Australia will be up to that challenge. I should add that special congratulations, the national regulator deemed the quality of Advantage applications so good that you've been provided with a 5-year, as I understand, 5-year registration and CRICOS accreditation for the Bachelor of Marketing course. And again, that's very unusual as a new provider. So many new providers are given a 3-year restriction, but clearly the national regulator sees the lineup of the academic board, the governing council under Professor Kidd's leadership, and of course the wonderful CEO in Dr. Selena Yu and her team as being up to the quality benchmarking that they require for such a provision. So apart from that, I'll just say congratulations and very pleased to be involved in the opening ceremony, and the Advantage Institute with its sister college GBCA are proudly gold members of my association, and we strongly support everything that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil, for your kind words and full support and encouragement. Sharing with us insightful views and excellent analysis of trends in education. These always provide food for thought and encouragement to everyone working in the sector. I also like to take this great opportunity to thank our board and the committee members. We are very fortunate to have a high-profile and experienced chair of EIA board, Janelle, who has led the team strategically since day one. and Chair of Academic Board, Leon, and other distinguished professionals in the board and committee. They have provided a lot of guidance and oversight for the management team. I know most of you are here with us today. Thank you so much. Now, I'd like to share a little bit more about GBCA and EIA, the Advantage Group's campuses in Australia. Advantage is a comprehensive international education group listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, includes 11 education institutes with 36,000 students. The buildings and infrastructures are world-class. Advantage Group offers education from childcare to vet, higher education, and etc. It now has a strong presence in Australia through GBCA and EIA. Established in 2014, GBCA has grown substantially. I remember our first handful of students for the first intake in April 2016. Today, we have outgrown the space. What a journey in just 4 years. We provide a comprehensive course range to students of diverse backgrounds. We deliver on our commitment to improve our students' practical skills through high-quality services to make them job ready. One of the significant features of GBCA is the partnership with University of Canberra. GBCA is now trusted by a leading university to deliver its programs in Melbourne. This demonstrates a robust academic quality and excellent student services are in the group's DNA. To date, the feedback from our students has been very, very positive, including high satisfaction with the quality of the experience. EIA is the beneficiary of this experience. GBCA has been providing diverse corporate training to large and small firms and international subsidiaries. By providing education programs to the workforce, retraining and upskilling, we continue to learn and understand industry needs, skills gap, and are able to prepare our students for that. We have established strong industry and education partners in both Australia and overseas. Our industry-supported activities include the joint research and publications in top journal papers with UTS, sponsorships of several students from the National Library of Australia, Huawei ICT competition and marketing plan competition, and the My Dream Destination video competition sponsored by China Southern Island. The diverse range of activities connect our students to the industry and network. EIA is exciting and new, opens on an established quality and governance platform. EIA now enables the group to offer high quality courses in its own right. Our ability to offer from certificate through to master level is strategically important. It enables our student offer to be comprehensive, flexible with multiple entry and exit points, enables us to build size and scale which in return drives sustainability and stability. It also enables enhanced global engagement. All of this is very exciting. We have the passion and dedication to make it a reality. It will do so through important strategic focus, combining academic excellence with job readiness, cutting-edge curriculum for the job of the future, comprehensive career and support services, pathway and global opportunities being part of an international group. We have a very experienced and diverse mix of academics and industry professionals in our course development committee. This delivers cutting-edge design. Shortly, you will hear from my colleague, Associate Professor Vitakas, on our marketing course and how it will produce new talent. And EIA has a very strong and committed team. I'm so proud to lead it. Professors Hall and Victors lead EIA's academic quality to deliver highest possible standards. EIA student support team is caring. We held down so much during the pandemic. And our student recruitment team delivers outstanding talent. You will meet some of them later. Thank you, everyone. Now I will introduce our faculty dean, Professor Hall, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Selena. I'm incredibly pleased to be part of this launch today, and it's a great pleasure to be part of EIA. It's both an exciting and challenging time for leaders in higher education. Innovation is increasingly impacting tertiary education and business. And therefore, it's a key goal of EIA leadership to prepare our graduates for successful careers in this ever-changing workforce. Leadership's about vision and responsibility, and EIA has developed a leadership team with a wealth of experience to guide EIA into the future. As you've seen, the leadership team includes Professor Janelle Kidd, who's been a Vice Chancellor, Professor Liam Sterling, who's been a Dean and a Pro Vice Chancellor, Associate Professor Peter Vitatis, who's been an Associate Dean, with myself, a Professor of Marketing for almost 20 years, and a former head of the Department of Marketing at Deakin University. EIA is also well supported by our administrative leaders, led by Dr. Yu, who are experienced and committed. Together, we've worked most diligently to develop our first degree, the Bachelor of Marketing, which has recently been accredited. And with those short few words, I would like to introduce Associate Professor Peter Vitatis, the course coordinator, to provide us with some insights into the program. Thank you.
Thank you, John, and good afternoon, Professor Kidd, Professor Sterling, Dr. Yu, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have the great honour to talk to you today about our Bachelor of Marketing, which I've been involved in with many other people. And I want to take you through some of the exciting things that we've been preparing and working on in this course. Get this to work. For anyone who's worked in business, they will know that marketing, I guess it's arguable that it is the engine room of a business, because in marketing, we're looking at the development and management of products and services for the business, the promotion and the creation of demand for those products, and the execution of the sales function. So these are the things that we're interested in our course. But what's been happening in the market, as you're all aware, is a digital transformation, and that's affecting the way that marketing is undertaken in businesses. So we have new ways of understanding prospective consumers and behaviour. We've got new measures of inquiry and of measuring demand. We've got new ways of managing online communications and of building online outlets for product portfolios. These are the types of things that the new marketing graduates need to be aware of as they go out into the workforce. And this is highlighted by some research that was done by Deloitte in 2018, who found that there was higher demand for marketing skills among employers and business people. And in particular, there was a need for multidisciplinary skill sets, and particularly in the area of marketing and in the area of advanced and specialist skills, and particularly in the area of digital. And one of the other things that they found was that there are higher growth rates for marketing graduates than for other business graduates. So EIA has responded to these industry changes by developing the Bachelor of Marketing course. And the course outline or the course learning outcomes have students focus on a number of things. First of all, being able to understand core marketing concepts, be able to apply their knowledge, focus on problem solving, design and develop marketing plans, and to devise communication strategies, as well as understand and organize data and evaluate and weigh up information for their decision making. So you can see here an outline of the structure for the Bachelor of Marketing. And as you can see, it's a 3-year program with 24 units, and it consists of core and major and elective units. But what is unique about this course, and very different from any other course that I'm aware of, is that the course consists of 18 dedicated marketing units, and these are highlighted in blue. So whereas traditional courses such as Bachelor of Business or Bachelor of Commerce tend to provide 8 or possibly 10 units in a specialisation, we have the ability to deliver 18 units specialised in marketing. And the way we've been able to do that is by tailoring specific units to marketing and dedicate them to have a focus on marketing. In addition to that, we have some specific electives that are also marketing focused, and these will also create interest and breadth and depth for our students. So the core units are basically foundations in business. The major units are focused on delivering marketing content, and the electives are to expand the students' knowledge and awareness of other aspects to do with marketing. So the unique features about this particular course, as I see them, is that concentrated focus on marketing, 18 units dedicated to marketing content. The second thing is that there's a focus on digital, and this is something that a lot of universities are aiming to achieve, but they're only doing it through 1 or possibly two units. We have much greater depth in this area in terms of focusing on digital. And as I said, we have dedicated marketing units, for example, law and ethics in marketing and a business launch campaign. All of these units in the course program has been developed with an industry perspective and with engagement from industry people. So in summary, marketing graduates are in demand by businesses. And the Bachelor of Marketing is a specialist name degree rather than a generic degree with a tag. Marketing skills provide for diverse employment opportunities of their graduates, and graduates are able to be employed in a range of industries, for example, in sports, in tourism, and in general business. The EIA Bachelor of Marketing in particular has the 18 marketing focused units and with specialised marketing knowledge, a strong focus on digital. The other unique thing about it is that there are small cohorts, so students can meet and get to know other students in their course. And there's an individualised tuition team that will look after students and get to know students and support them throughout their course. We focus on authentic assessments that will engage students and provide them with practical applications and get them to challenge themselves and to think critically about the way that they go about doing things. And we also have planned some industry recognition through the Australian Marketing Institute. So I commend the course to you, and thank you very much for your time, and would now like to pass you on to Rhys Williams.
Thank you very much, Peter. It's my great pleasure to be here today with our governance and our academic leaders. And also it's a great pleasure to have Phil Honeywood, one of the great supporters of international education, here with us today. I'd like to say a few words about industry engagement. I'd like to get you to go back to, in your mind, Selena's EIA strategic focus slides. As you can see, the 4 strategic pillars all together holistically support industry engagement and show that industry engagement is very much, to use Selena's words, Dr. Yu's words, very much part of the DNA of GBCA, of EIA, and the Advantage Group. This is so important today, and it's so important in a new private higher education provider. The recognition that with the student at the centre, we're interested in academic excellence, but also very close and comprehensive preparation for the destination. And the destination, of course, is a good career. So for those agents listening today, that's a very, very important takeaway from today's presentation. There are 4 ways in which industry engagement is brought to bear. Firstly, and I don't want to add too much more to it, Professor Batatas and Professor Sterling have covered in some detail the global trends and the cutting edge nature of our curriculum, and particularly emphasised the digital backbone, which is very much part of our marketing degree. Secondly, faculty. Our faculty who teach students across the course all will have unparalleled academic experience as well as industry experience, so that students within the course will be able to experience both academic excellence, but also very much related to their job goals or their career goals. Thirdly, and most importantly, integrated with our academic program is a very comprehensive career preparation program. That career preparation program comprises 3 elements over the duration of the program. Firstly, the provision of very, very comprehensive information about marketing, about the discipline, about the marketing industry, and about how marketing provides an incredible foundation for business. And it's a very, very exciting time as digital engagement really revolutionises the marketing discipline. So firstly, information. Secondly, exposure to the industry progressively through speakers, through curriculum, and through a range of work integrated learning activities. And finally, the third component later in the course, internships, the ability to do some work with an employer or a potential employer. One of the great things that EIA has as part of the Advantage Group is the opportunity to increasingly offer internships and work integrated learning opportunities for our students, not only onshore, but also offshore. And finally, I was involved in a survey of 2,000 students, international students, mainly from Malaysia and China, and mostly offshore students. We did 2 surveys, one about 8 years ago, and most of the students said, my goal at the end of the course is to have a very, very good job with a state-owned enterprise or a multinational corporation. 4 years later, over 50% of the students said, I don't want a job, I want to create my own job. I want to develop my own job. I want to be my own employer. So it's incumbent on all higher education providers, and very luckily within EIA, because industry engagement is part of its DNA, as I've said, that an entrepreneurial mindset, an understanding of innovation, an understanding of the skills, the capabilities, and the mindsets that you need to create your own job in this area will be very much part of the course and very much part of the student experience. So for those agents out there today, I'm very proud, and I'm very proud to be here with my team to be able to be talking about EIA and our new course as being very industry engaged and providing really a unique opportunity for students. So look, thank you very much. And now it's my great pleasure to pass over to Mr. Navid Zoriasatine, our Executive Manager of Marketing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Race. Good afternoon, everybody. I would also like to appreciate all of our great speakers today, and also all of our valued agents and partners who have attended our opening ceremony today. So I'm going to review some important information about our key dates, admission, entry requirements, enrollment process, fees and scholarships, career outcome, and at the end we have the Q&A. So before I start, I would like also to invite all of our attendees to just write their questions in the Q&A chat box, and we definitely try to just respond to as many questions as we can. I'm so delighted today that many of our agents have asked many times and during the last couple of months about our first intake and about our Bachelor of Marketing. And I'm so delighted today to say that, okay, EIA now is targeting our first intake for next month, November, which will be followed by 2 intakes, March and July in 2021. Some of the key dates that I would like to review here, and I believe that most of our agents needs to keep in mind. The first is about our orientation has been set for the week 9 to 13 of November, and the teaching commences is 16th of November. But maybe the most important key dates for all our agents who want to enroll their prospective students for this intake is 20th of November, which is the final enrollment date. And in 11 December, we have the census date. So some of the admission criteria that I want to review today is about the academic requirements that we have for both international and domestic students. As you can see here, for those applicants with a recent secondary education, successful completion of year 12 is mandatory. And also we have, for those with a recent higher education study, we have 3 options for those who wants to transfer from other providers, as you can see. And many of them maybe would like just to apply for course credits, which I'm going to explain in my next slides. For domestic students, also the entry requirement, academic entry requirement is somehow very similar to our international students. For those with recent secondary education, successful completion of VCE and VCAL, and the equivalent in other states as well. For those applicants who do not meet those requirements, still they can submit their applications, and their applications will be processed and will be assessed case by case. For those with recent higher education study result or with VCE or equivalent study scores, they need just to submit it along personal statements outlining their academic actually history, desire to study the course, and personal circumstances. And as I mentioned, all these applications will be assessed case by case with our academic team. English requirement also is something that most of our agents ask us. And as you can see, there are 6 different ways that the international students can satisfy the English requirements of our Bachelor of Marketing. As you see, the main common one is official English test, IELTS, in the score overall 6 with no band score lower than 5.5 or equivalence, PT, TOEFL, OAT. But as you see, there are many other options: completion of any Australian diploma or higher qualification, or if they have finished minimum 2 years of study in post-secondary course as English as a main actually medium of instruction, and if they already finished 1 semester in one of the higher education, Australian higher education tertiary course, and they finished successfully 50% of the that semester successfully. So these are all other options for English requirements for our Bachelor of Marketing. So in terms of the enrollment process, at EIA, we have just tried to make it very simplified and very clear. So as you can see in these diagrams, 6 steps for enrollment process. There are a couple of few points here that I would like just to highlight for our agents. The first, in terms of the documentation, definitely, as you can see, that the certified copy of all documentations is needed and necessary for us. And in terms of the course credits, many of the applicants, maybe they want just to apply for course credits based on their previous studies, and they can send the course credit form along with other documentation, and their request will be assessed actually according to EIA course credits policy and articulation, the policy and procedure, which is available in our student handbook and also in our website. And in terms of the letter of offer, we need just to mention that sometimes the letter of offer is conditional, and all the conditions must be met prior to the payments. This is something that also I would like to point out for our agencies. And the expected time frame. Most of the agents ask us about the time frame. At EIA, we are committed to ensure that all the applications we are receiving will be processed in timely manner. So as you can see that for letter of offer, up to 2 working days, for offshore applications up to 5 working days, and also for COE 2 days. However, this is the plan that we have. What's the very committed and devoted staff that we have at EIA. We are doing our best to issue the letter of offer or COE on the same day, in case that all the requirements have been met and all the documentations are complete. So in terms of the tuition fees and the scholarships, our Bachelor of Marketing fees is $17,500, the annual fee. But we are very delighted to say that EIA is offering first intake bursary and academic merit scholarship for the first intake. So first intake bursary is available for all applicants who can meet the course requirements, and academic merit scholarship has conditions that I'm going to explain in the next slides. So yeah, as I mentioned in previous slides, the first intake bursary, 25% for all onshore applications and all onshore students who can meet the intake requirement for the next month, I mean for November intake, they can receive this bursary, and the actual fee will be $13,125. And for offshore applications, this bursary will be 10% for all eligible applicants. And we have academic merit scholarship for the first intake as well, which is 5% in addition to the bursary that we are offering. And as you can see, this scholarship has 2 conditions, the academic and the English. So all the applicants who can meet minimum 65% if they have achieved in their previous award, and minimum of 6.5 overall in English, no band actually score lower than 6 or equivalence, they will be eligible to apply for this scholarship as well. So some of the careers outcome I've listed here. Digital marketing specialist, as actually Associate Professor Peter Watras just mentioned about this, the core units of some of the digital marketing units in the course, and also research analyst, marketing assistants, communication manager, and product manager. These are all available occupations for Bachelor of Marketing course. In the last slide, I would like to share some information with you from the latest report, which was published by Victorian Department of Education. And this report is very recent, in September 2020. And based on this report, majority of occupations have experienced decline in employment since February 2020 due to this COVID-19. But in this list, you can see that there are top 10 occupations which had increase in demand and also very good job growth. And it is very interesting to know that the top occupation since COVID-19 was business and marketing professionals, with showing that 11% increase in demand. And this is very interesting actually for all our agents and all those applicants or students who are looking forward to study Bachelor of Marketing. So I believe that just at the moment and after this COVID-19, bringing product information to potential customer, winning their heart and soul, especially in an online space, is becoming more and more important. And this is precisely what our Bachelor of Marketing will bring into our students. Thank you very much for your attention. Before we go to the Q&A, I would like just to only mention that because of the time limitation, if we are not able to respond to all of the questions, feel free and do not hesitate to send all of your questions to enquiries@eia.edu.au. So now we're reaching to Q&A, and I will pass it to my colleague Race to review the questions.
Thank you very much, Navid. Yes, we've had a few questions come through during the course of the presentation. Dr. Yu, I've got perhaps the first one for you from Professor Andrew Chan, the Chairman of the Board of the Greater Bay Area Business School. He's asking what contribution the Advantage Group through EIA and GBCA will be able to make to education.
Thank you, Reese. Thank you, Professor Chen. It's a great question. As a part of a large international education group, we certainly like to leverage our advantages of presence in multiple cities in the world. So engage and connect our students globally. So students can really learn from different culture, learn East and West, learn legal and business context, build networks as well. So to be a truly global citizen. And we certainly look forward to deliver transnational education in Singapore, in China, London for, our Australian accredited EIA qualifications. So I think, it takes time, but it's our aim as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Yu. We have a range of questions around the fairly topical issue of students studying Bachelor of Marketing online due to the current restrictions, and questions related to, well, what will the quality of the course be, and what resources and what supports will be available to students. So I might pass that firstly to Associate Professor Vitatis to talk a little bit about that. And then maybe Mr. Zoriasatine, you could say a few words about visa requirements in the current study period.
Thank you, Reese. Yes, the idea of having an online experience is to provide students with virtually the same situation or the same learning experience as you would normally in a face-to-face situation. So all of the units that we deliver online will have the resources, or all of the resources available to the students. Plus there will also be opportunities to interact in classroom situations, to be able to talk to tutors and the lecturers, and to be able to discuss matters. The assessment will also be available in an online format as well. So really the overall approach is that that students will get the same experience, the same learning experience. But there's also extra support in terms of having counsellors available to students who need particular support, or have any questions, or need any additional resources or assistance. There's the ability for students to be able to access computers and cameras so that they can log on through a program that's available through EIA. And so really it is to transfer that learning experience from a face-to-face into an online experience as seamlessly as possible, and to give the students as valuable a learning experience as possible. And I guess with the small class sizes, it means that the tutors can interact and engage in much the same manner as you would in a classroom situation. So I don't see any particular issues that should be created because of that online experience. I don't know if there's anything else that I might have missed, Selena. Is there something else that I needed to add?
Navid, some of the comment or question relates to the ability for a student who has a visa but can't come onshore. Are they able to start online before they come onshore?
Yeah, thank you, Race. This is a question mostly our agents asking about the offshore applications. The good news is that the Department of Home Affairs recently also just announced that all the offshore applications, visa applications, now are being processed. So it means that all offshore students also can apply for our course, and upon receiving their COE, they can definitely apply for visa, and they can start and they can commence the course online, and until the borders restrictions will be lifted, then they can just arrive into the country and continue their course. But definitely the answer to the question is that yes, they can apply for the visa and they can start the course offshore as an online mode.
Excellent, thank you, Navid. I might pass to Alana. There's a couple of questions there that are referring to not the academic program, but more the supports available for students in the personal space, if it's needed during the period of online learning. So Alana, I might ask you, because I know you've done an awful lot of work to prepare. I'm wondering if you could make some comment.
Yep, no worries. So as we know, COVID's caused a lot of difficult challenges for everyone, and international students have been hit pretty hard by it. So we focused our support in two main areas. Firstly, personal support, which we have a professional counsellor available to all students free of charge. And we also have a 24-hour phone number that students can call 7 days a week for any urgent issues they have that we can try and support them through. And yeah, we also do have the academic support. So for any issues they're having academically, we do have academic support staff that are there to help them with any issues or anything they're having.
Excellent. Thank you, Alana. Navid, I think back to you. We've got a question related to a potential student or potential applicant has no IELTS. Could you perhaps go through, IELTS is not, our entry requirement is an IELTS level, but there are many different ways of achieving that. Perhaps you could give a quick overview of that.
Yeah. as in one of the slides I just showed you, we have 6 different ways that the students can satisfy the English requirements. One of them is IELTS, but if the students have successfully completed a diploma qualification or higher in Australia, they meet the inter requirements for our English, or if they have studied 1 semester full-time in another higher education, that's another way that they can meet our English requirement, or also if they have successfully completed that ELICOS course, which can meet our inter requirements equal to IELTS 6. So all of these options are available for international students to meet our English requirements.
Thank you, Navid. Look, I've got a question here also from Elise Chow related to what career and internship opportunities are available for the first intake. The first intake will have very, very good career services, as was explained during the presentation, and this will be amended as appropriate for an online environment. But firstly, comprehensive information about an introduction to the industry, to the marketing discipline, and to where marketing sits in the world of business. Secondly, engagement with that world through work integrated learning projects and through regular curriculum, which as Associate Professor Vitatis has said, is very, very closely linked to the needs of industry. And finally, internships. I guess the first intake will be somewhat blessed being a small intake. It will be easier to organise internships for them, and we hope to be able to offer some internships internationally if that's possible. There are a lot of logistical factors related to international internships, but we've got a pretty dedicated team in being able to make those available. So as Selena has said, industry engagement, your career destination, as much as your course, is very much in the DNA of the group. So that will be made fully available to the first intake. Let's have a look through the other questions. Look, I think that basically covers the questions. I'm wondering if I could, we've got a couple of minutes, I was wondering if I could pass to a panel of presenters, if any of those would like, before I pass to Dr. Yu for some closing comments, any other panel members who would like to make final comment before I pass to Dr. Yu. No one? Okay, well look, Dr. Yu, I'll pass back to you for some concluding comments. Thank you very much. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you, Rhys, for hosting the Q&A. Today, we are very proudly introduce you to EIA. We are passionate about how it will serve industry and students. It completes the Advantage Group journey in Australia to become a full-service, dual-sector education institution. We look forward to a bright future. You have met some of our governance and academic leaders and know a little bit more about our exciting marketing offering. So EIA knows the value of partnerships. We look forward to working with education agents and the sector more broadly, and we will work with you humbly and always listen. We are extremely honored to have present today senior representatives of the education sector and the business. Thank you for your tremendous support. I hope to meet you face-to-face soon. So now I will formally conclude proceedings. And again, thank you for your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Selena.
Well done.
Thank you.